All right, good morning. We're going to look at some of the Revit tutorials this morning, and we'll go through where you can find those, how you set them up, how you get started, and how you can then load those into Revit to begin the work. So I'm just going to quickly open up my OneNote and navigate to the OneNote that we are using. So I'm going to go non-sustainable design. If you then go into where your formative work is, so click on that, and then what we're going to do is then we can see the units that we've got down the side here. If you look at part 1 and scroll to the top, these tutorials should only take you a short time. They're not meant to be massive, but they're just going to teach you some basic skills. As you read through the instructions, it does give you a file to download. And if we click on this, it'll bring you to an Autodesk page, and it will ask you to download this particular folder, navigate to your OneDrive, and save that into your sustainable design folder. I've already done that, and that's it there. GSG Revit Lite, so just save that into there. And then you'll have to extract it because it's a zipped file. And so to do that, we would go, if I go back one, it would be the same process as like right-clicking on something and then going extract all or unstuff or whatever it is. It might be slightly different terminology, but unextract the folder, and that will then create this folder here, which will have all your files in it. Once you've got that, close all that. Our next step will then be to go across to Revit and open that up. Now you can see that if we look down these before we start up Revit, you can see that we've got the objectives of that is to create a project from a template, rename default levels and modify level elevations, add a level by specifying the level start and endpoints, and add a level by offsetting the elevation from an existing level. Now, it does have a video that you can watch. I'll go through this process and make one as well, but essentially you can also watch this one here. So if you want to work at these, you can do so. So there it is there. If you click on that, you can see there are tutorials down the side here. These are the videos that go along with those tutorials. So there are videos there that you can watch and do that. Create the project template. There's the objectives, the same as what was in the notes. There's the video that explains it. And there's also a transcript, which is the instructions that this gentleman is giving us to change that as well. So you can have that as well. So that everything is there for you to be able to do this. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this. And I'm going to see whether I can change screens, because what I want to be able to do is record what's going on a second screen here. I'm not sure whether I can do that or not. Let's have a look. I don't know. Don't know if I can. Okay, let's swap this around then. So let's bring this across here. I'm going to bring this over here and this over here. All right. So here's Autodesk Revit. I've opened it up. It's 2023 is the version that I'm running with. And what we're going to do is, the first part of this is like opening a template from that file. Now you can do that. You can also just create this from scratch and then modify this to suit the same thing, but we'll go through the process of doing it the same as what they have done. So we're in the home page here of Revit. We're going to go to browse to that file. So we're going to create a new project, and new projects are done within this model space, not the family space. So we're going to go into new, Here we have like where we have different templates. So if I click on that, hopefully you'll see the same sort of things where you have imperial templates. So they're using things like feet, inches, miles, and the imperial system. And then we've got the metric templates, which we're using millimeters, centimeters, meters in that system. And we've got a range of those different ones there: construction, architecture, structural, and systems. What we're going to do is we're actually going to use none of those. We're going to browse and find the one that was in that folder that we downloaded. So I'm going to go into there and I'm going to navigate to my OneDrive. You might be able to find that by the little cloud. Navigate to my non-sustainable design. There's the folder there. And there it is there, the getting started template, which is the same one that they referred to in the instructions. I'm going to open that up. Go, okay. Now you'll get this window. It'll ask you to upgrade because the original files were in version 2022. It wants to upgrade those to 2023. That's fine. Just let it do that and it'll be all good. Here comes our file. It's uploaded there. We can see that we've got 2 levels that are in there. Those 2 levels there also correspond to the views that are on the side here in the floor plans. You can see level 1 and level 2. It would also be the same in the ceiling plans, level 1, level 2. And these we see from an elevation view. So anything that's like in the side-on views here, we can then see these levels. We can zoom in and out on those using the mouse. And we're going to click on the label that says level 1. Oops, double click that. And we're going to change this. So this is going to now read as the following: 0, 1, and then we're going to have a dash store floor. You can spell floor, store floor. So we're renaming this level to be those things. Once we've renamed it, press enter. It'll say, would you like to rename the corresponding views? And we're going to go yes. So the corresponding views, as I just said, are these ones here under floor plans and ceiling plans. You can see that they have now changed from being level 1 to 1 store floor and reflected in both of those views. So once we've done that, we can move down. We're going to look at the next plan. So we're going to right click on level 2 and we're going to rename that. So the other way that we can do that is we can do that over here. So if we go to that, we go right click and go to rename. And in this one, we're going to enter 00 dash foundation. And we're going to press enter again. It'll come up with that same message. Would we like to do the corresponding views? Yes, we would. And you can see that it's renamed all those views across there. Okay, the drawing area for this foundation, we're going to rename our height for that now. So instead of being 4,000 millimeters high, we're going to change that to be negative 1250. So if we click on that, we should be able to get in there and go minus 1250. Press enter. Then you can see that it's dropped it down below our store floor, and we now have a foundation level. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at adding levels to our drawing already. And so what we're going to do is zoom out so that we can see both ends of the lines. So that end and that end. We're going to go onto the architecture tab up the top. We're going to go across to the datum panel. And in the datum panel, you can see that we have level. We're going to click on that because that's going to enable us to add the levels to that. So we're going to position your cursor over the endpoint of 1. So over here. And you can see it comes up with that dashed line. Move it up to about 7.5 meters if we can. It may not do halves. We might have to adjust this in a minute. So let's go to 8 and then we'll work it out from there. So I'm going to click on that, drag that across, and you'll see it light snaps up with the other end. We're going to do that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just tidy that up because it did say that wanted the height of that to be 7,500. So I'm just going to quickly modify that while we're sitting in here. So double click that, add that in there. So now we've got our 3 levels there. Just going to, and then whilst we're still there, we can go back into the architecture tab, go back to your level command, and we've got the one next to it in the draw tools called pick lines. So we had the one where we drew the line, and then we've got pick lines there. We're going to click on the pick lines this time. This time in the pick line, we're going to choose that and do an offset of 500. And we're going to pick the one that we just drew. So if we click on that, you can see that we now have another level there, level 4, and its offset is 8,000. So I'm just scrolling through my instructions at the same time. So we can do that. Now what we're going to do is, because they're so close together, you can see that the text is sort of going over the top of each other. So we need to add an elbow to that. So we're going to position our cursor on the level that we added until the dashed line displays above, and click to place the level. So we're going to click on that. And then we're going to use the add elbow control, which is, if I can see that. Oops. Got to get off of that and go back. So we don't add another couple of levels. I think I've actually got another one in there somewhere too. No, that's okay. Alright, so if we go to modify, click on that, you can see that there's just there, it's really a little bit hard to see, but it says add elbow. It's like a little squiggle line just in there. We're going to click on that. That's going to give us these 2 dots that we can now move, and what we can do is we can shift those in there like that, and we can grab that one up there like that, and we can move those around to clean those up. So we had to go hit the modify to get off of the drawing tools, and then click on that little little squiggly line, and then we can move these around to add our levels to that, just so that they don't run through each other. Okay, so now we're going to rename these levels 3 and 4 to the following. So this level 3, we're going to double click on that. We're going to name this as 02 dash lower parapet. And we go enter, and we're going to go yes, and then we're going to go level 4 is going to be 03 dash upper parapet. And yes, we would like to change those again. Now, if your measurements are sort of going over again, you can always then grab these and do something. So once we've renamed the other 2 levels to the upper parapet and the lower parapet, we should now have 4 levels in our project. There they are there, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. They should all be named over here on the side. So we should have 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 in terms of foundation, store floor, lower parapet, upper parapet. That is it. That is the first video done and dusted. That's the first exercise done and dusted, and it was as simple as that. So I think my video with my waffling took 13 minutes. The tutorial said it was going to take 10, so we're pretty close to where we're going with that. So that's it. Stay tuned for video number 2 on creating walls.